All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Wise Guys NFL Divisional Round Best Bets Breakdown. Let's do this. All right, the Wise Guys is back, and we have a special guest. Cuz could not be with us in reality. He's with us in spirit. He's with us in heart. In his stead, we've got the sports betting goat himself, a man known as the elbow to fist assassin across all of the strip clubs of Tampa Bay.
Usually that's not true, but this has been quite the week, Geek.
He's had a special week of running around doing things that us married guys could only dream of. John Statsational Alessio, what's up, my man?
What's going on, brother? I'm just getting in, man. It's as you said, as you alluded to, quite the week. Quite the week. Yeah. So this is gonna be an early night for me.
That you know, that's 5 a.m. strippers, parties.
Let me at least give you a little background. I'll give you the quick. So Tuesday, I had day Tuesday night, go out for dinner, and then like 9:30, 10 o'clock it ended. And I was in the I was doing well in the DFS. There was a 2-game slate Tuesday night.
Well. Tuesday night, you won $150,000. I saw the screenshot.
Yes, but at this point at 10 o'clock at night, I didn't win $150,000. I knew I was doing well. It was early in the night. I'm like, you know what, let me go out and have a couple of drinks. And so I stopped at the strip club by me, which I swear to God, this is only the second time I've been to this particular one.
Don't believe it for a second.
So I'm gonna watch the games. I'll hang out, I'll relax. So I was there for a little bit, and I'm quiet. I'm watching it, and I'm like, I got a legit shot here, $150,000. And then some guy starts talking to me. So we chit chat. 5 minutes later, I find out it's Teddy Hart of the Hart family, wrestling Hart family, Bret and Owen Hart's nephew. And I just thought it was a guy wearing a costume. The dude's in like full gimmick.
Wait, he's wearing the costume?
I just texted you actually a picture of what he goes out in. He goes out in his gimmick. So we start. He's like, "Oh, you know my family." Because I geek out on the old. I geek out on the old school wrestling.
It's almost sad that he's. I mean, this is badass. Like, first of all, I love wrestling, but why is he wearing his wrestling costume at the strip club?
He gets the attention, man.
Yeah, that works. Actually, I get why he's wearing it.
Yeah,
I would do it.
He's peacock.
I would do it.
So, and then it's one of those guys. It's a little sad. I mean, they're just living on their name. Awesome. He's living on the Hart name.
Oh, that's your boy. Listen, that's all good.
It's my boy now.
I would be doing the same shit. That's awesome. Like, I can't imagine anything more fun than hanging with Teddy Hart, going around strip club after strip club. You don't pay the fee to get in. You sit in the back with the owner, let the suckers in the front pay the $20 for the lap dances. Then the strippers come over. They give you free lap dances because you're with the crew. You're with the insider crew.
Yeah, we were hanging out with the owners. Yeah, every bouncer knows them. Well, then the other, because then you got the bouncers. Like, there was one bouncer, his son is he's in the WWE, like whatever program, training. So he was trying to get some help from Teddy with all that. So it's pretty fun. And then most of the girls, obviously, they don't know. Yeah, I didn't really know who it was. I know the Harts are. And they're like, "Is that your buddy?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Why is he dressed like that?" I'm like, "He's a professional wrestler." And then they're like, "Oh, okay." Because there's a ton of them down here in Tampa. There's
a lot of wrestlers down there?
Ton. Yeah, a lot of them live down in the Tampa area. Like, so his cousin, because all the Hart family, I don't know how much you know about the Hart, but it was like 8 or 9 of them. The girls all married wrestlers, and the guys all were wrestlers. So he's got so many wrestlers in the family. Harry Smith, who's Davey Boy Smith's son, is his cousin. He moved down here now. So apparently Saturday night he wants to go out and watch the MMA. So we'll see how that goes. I know you'll be all over that. So that'll be a fun night.
You're making new friends.
Yeah, that's what I need.
You know what I do? Nothing. I had dinner tonight with some friends. It's the most excitement I've had in about 3 months.
I had a date tonight. Yeah, man. We weren't supposed to. I didn't even know I was doing this. So you caught me. I got Teddy blowing up my phone. He's looking to go out again. I'm like, dude, I can't do it 3 nights in a row. I work in the morning, man.
The phone is.
I'm up. I'm working on.
There we go.
Working on the Sharp app. I'm doing all. We got stuff that we got going on.
Well, cuz Gargano could not be with us tonight. He was in a car accident, got concussed. He's in the league concussion protocol right now. Trying to get through it. We wish him the best.
Absolutely.
He's powering through, but hearts and prayers with my boy.
Day to day.
But we're gonna get into it. It's divisional round action, and John, I got to tell you something. Last week's games were kind of shit. Not gonna lie, they were really bad. Like they were non-competitive. Even games that we thought were going to be competitive were non-competitive. And I'm going to give you a prediction right here, right now. That will not be the case this weekend. That's my prediction.
Yeah, it does. I mean, on paper, that's the way it looks, right? These look like good games. Even the biggest spread out there still looks like it potentially could be a good game. So, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you'd be shocked if you don't get 2 of these 4 as being really good games that you're going to be in. You're going to be glued to the TV. Last week, yeah, it was a total bore, and it was spread out over 3 days, which made it worse. Even the games that, even if you want to call that Dallas game close, which obviously they did have a shot, it was terrible football. Dallas played awful. It was bad football.
Yeah,
I hate watching bad football, and that's what it was. And then the night game the Monday night game just capped it off. That was just never a game. So I'm looking forward to this week. This weekend's going to be better. I think from here on out. I mean, no matter what the matchups are, we should get good matchups from this point on. Let's hope.
Teams are going to bring their best game. A lot of those teams last week had snuck their way into playoffs. They were phonies. They were pretenders. They showed themselves as that. But these guys all won their first week, except for a couple of them. And we'll talk about that. But overall, I expect the 49ers and the Packers to show their best game in this one. I expect the Rams and the Bucks to bring their A games. I definitely think the Bills and the Chiefs are going to play this like a Super Bowl, on point, and have a great game. So there are 4 games this weekend, and all of them look pretty good. But I want to start with the first one because I have some interesting angles to this. But it's the Bengals at the Titans. The Titans are 4-point favorites. Maybe going to get back Derrick Henry. They haven't played in a while. And I think, John, that's problematic. I think it's problematic. They haven't played in a while, and they haven't played with Derrick Henry in a while. And the attempt to mix him in could just kind of like make things weird.
I mean, it's possible. I think the thing that's more problematic is I just don't think Tennessee's a very good team. This is the worst 1 seed I've ever seen. So and it's hard to figure out. You're like, well, do you want to give like Tannehill? I mean, you can't knock these guys. They got the 1 seed, but I almost feel like the other teams just kind of, Buffalo lost a lot of, a lot of games against tough teams. Kansas City just started out so slow, and it was like Tennessee by default got there to the 1. But I mean, you got to give them credit. You can't knock them for it. But is this a very good team? I mean, I don't even have them as a top 10 team in my rankings this year. So I just think it's been kind of smoke and mirrors how they've gotten here. That said, these are actually the 2 worst teams that I have.
Yes.
As far as my rankings playing each other, which you don't normally get in the divisional round, but I've got these as the 2 worst teams. So one of these teams obviously is going to advance. A lot of people are liking Cincinnati just because, the Burrow, Chase, that whole combo, they've been scoring points. Tennessee, I think a lot of people agree with me where Tennessee's not that good. And quite frankly, getting Henry back, I think you're right. I think it only hurts. It's not going to make them that much better. I think this notion that somehow Henry makes this team better. Listen, Henry's a special player. He's a special player. I get he makes them better, but they're doing fine. They're running the ball even without Henry. I don't think he's not making. You got to put it in terms of points. How many points better does he make this team? And are you getting, like you said, week 5 Derrick Henry? Probably not. So at best, it's a flat. To me, it's flat, the Derrick Henry thing. And at worst, they lose a little something. I think you're right.
It just makes it a little weird. Like, I think the term is right. Like, you're trying to work this guy in, but not too much. But, oh, Henry's here, so we need to go a little more run heavy than we normally do. I think it makes it a little awkward. But the thing that's worse is they have not played meaningful football in a very long time. And we've seen this season that teams, even just coming off a bye week and having missed 1 week of meaningful football, they're just off at the beginning of these games. They just don't look right. And we've seen it in the playoffs time and time again. Now, it's fine when it's the Packers against like some okay team and their first half of the game is a little bit off, but they get their shit together in the second half. I don't think you have a window to sort of start off a little bit like off your game and then like make up for it later in the game. This is the playoffs. This is go time. So I got to tell you something. I like the Bengals in this game. I like getting the 4 points. You can get 4 points on Sugar House. Sugar House is given 4. Most of the other books are at 3.5. But either way, I like taking the points with the Bengals in this game. I cannot back the Titans. As a matter of fact, in my best ball leagues as well, I'm kind of like taking a little bit of Bengals action too. Not that I think they can get past the next round, but I feel like, I can get 2 games out of them in my best ball leagues that I'm doing right now. So, what do you think on this one? You like the Bengals there? Like the underdog?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely leaning to the Bengals side. I'm in some pools where you had to pick the team. You get points. You rated the team. So basically, the team you thought would win the Super Bowl, you gave the 14, and then you went so on, down. And I put Tennessee way down. I just don't think they're that strong a team. Yeah. I think at best they're winning 1 game. They're not getting to the Super Bowl. So I can totally see them getting upset here. What scares me about it is a lot of people are on that side as well. Like, so that always scares you. But to me, the playoffs are about quarterbacks. We're going to talk about, obviously, the quarterbacks in each and every one of these games. The clear advantage here is Burrow, right? Clear advantage at quarterback. I give credit to Tannehill, like I said, but I don't know how they've done it. Yeah, Vrabel, solid off the bye, but 4 games to me is not enough. So I don't put too much weight into those stats. And you got a deep, I'd have to go back and see. I mean, who they play.
For like me, that. By the way, it's almost not. It's been 2 weeks, not 1, because they didn't really play their guys that last week of the season. But the bigger one for me is just working Derrick Henry back into the game when he hasn't been playing a lot. I just think that will throw off the chemistry a little bit. It doesn't take much in the playoffs to not win. But like I said, Tannehill's good and he's fine. And, they have A.J. Brown and Hurt Leo is now Health Leo for 1 game at least. So they have their weapons. And that's a good thing. And they've been finding a way to win. You got to give them credit.
If they win the game, it's going to be because they run the ball. I mean, that's it. They're not going to throw the ball and beat you. So in 2022, is that the kind of, I'm just still in shock that they're the 1 seed. So I have this as a 1-point game. I think the line's a little too high. My numbers have it as a 1-point spread here, and 47. Where's the total at now? Is 47. So my numbers are at 47, right where the total should be.
It's a shockingly high total. I think it's surprising.
Well, I think it's right. No, I think the total. So I mean, what I'm gathering from you is you like the under.
I mean, it's not so much that I like the under. It's just that I find it bizarre that the game total for this one is the same as the Packers 49ers total. Same day. And when I looked at the 2 games, my thought is the Packers 49ers game will be a higher scoring game than this one. So, I mean, I don't know, do with that what you will. I like if I'm forced to choose between the 2 games on Saturday, I think this one's more likely to play to the under and the Packers 49ers game is more likely to play to the over. I just think both of those offenses, 49ers and Packers, are a little more potent than certainly than the Titans offense has been this year and the Bengals outside of the last couple games.
Yeah, Bengals starting to roll. The average total this year is 46, by the way. So
it's been a down year of scoring. Been a down year of scoring. But
yeah, totally.
I'm not taking the bet. I like the Bengals. I like the Bengals on the money line as well. So if you want to get a little more juice in there, I don't mind. I love.
Yeah, I like that. I like that as well. Yeah, you could go ahead and take them on the money line if you like Cincinnati. I mean, listen, the 3.5 points, I'm not going to pass up. I don't mind doing a little combo there where you take half the action. I always play to. I play to win a unit, not to risk a unit. So I would figure it out how do I win one unit with a half a bet on the money line side and a half a bet on the spread. So that's how I would play it.
I like that approach. All right, second game of the Saturday slate. We've got the 49ers at the Packers. Packers coming off the bye week. The biggest favorite of the weekend at -5.5. Not much to say here. Aaron Rodgers got his full suite of weapons. Everybody's healthy. Even Randall Cobb is back. The whole team is good. Did not rest too hard even in the last week of the season. So they're more of a true 1 week bye week situation. And the 49ers have looked just very good. They're running the football. They're playing good offense. They played incredible defense last week. I mean, did you see how the 49ers line was the penetration they were getting? It was unreal. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, no, they're playing really physical football on both sides of the ball, and that scares me a little bit here for Green Bay in this game. Now, again, we talk about quarterbacks in the playoffs, so you have to give the edge here, obviously, to Rodgers, probably the MVP. So edge clearly goes to Rodgers in this game, but I think the better team is San Francisco. And I love Debo. Debo, to me, is the best player in football.
I love Debo Samuel.
He's the best player in football right now. I don't know how you argue with that.
He's a beast. He does a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a running back.
You put a guy like that in the backfield, he's there. They didn't use him quite. They used a lot of Mitchell last week, and they kind of used I think as a play caller, I think Shanahan's probably the best play caller in football. These guys, I hate the play caller being the head coach, which is why I hate hiring these coordinators, which is just the move. It's like, hey, let's hire the best. The best being who has the best players is the best coordinator, and we're going to hire that guy. But I want a guy who's just the CEO of a team. Like, I want Mike Tomlin. What does Mike Tomlin do? I don't know if Mike Tomlin's called a play in the last 10 years, but
Urban Meyer was the CEO of the Jaguars.
Well, that's different. You get a guy. You need a guy who's the players respect, going to be a good leader. Tomlin's that guy, right? So Tomlin's the guy. They'll run through a wall for Mike Tomlin. They love him. But I don't know what he does as far as X's and O's, and I don't care. I'm hiring Mike Tomlin. Just give me a Mike Tomlin who knows how to manage the game. That's all. And most of these guys don't know how to manage games.
I have a hard time with this argument. It's Kyle Shanahan. That dude is an elite
great
head
play
coach.
Caller.
Yeah,
but I don't think he's a great head coach. He made a ton of mistakes last week. These guys make so many game management mistakes. All I want my head coach to do is manage the game and get the players respect and have the players fired up, and then let me know who your coordinators are going to be, because those are the guys calling the plays. Why do I want my head coach when the defense is on the field? He's an offensive coordinator. The head coach is going to sit there. Like, he need to be looking at film and looking at the all-22 camera and talking to the quarterback and whatever he's got to do. The head coach doesn't have time for that. So I hate that. I hate it. When I own a team, listen, when we eventually buy a team together, we buy the Jets, then we're not hiring.
We'll bring back Herm Edwards as just a leader of men.
Let me tell you something. I absolutely love Herm as a human being. Wouldn't hire him as my head coach, but
he's a good leader of men.
I love Herm.
He could lead. Listen, I want to start a crypto DAO where we buy, like, we just collect a bunch of money and buy the Jets. I think we could improve my beloved team.
Well, how could you be worse?
You think it would be worse?
No, how could you?
Can't be any worse.
It's awful.
I feel like I could do a really good job. Head coach. You saw yourself as a field goal kicker.
You were good. You were a lot better than I thought you'd be.
Straight, high.
That was pretty good.
Straight.
Yeah, you
still got it.
20-yard field goals, man.
If my leg was able to go more than 45 degrees up, I'm telling you, I could have kicked that one from 30, 40 yards out. Gotta work on the leg stretching a little bit. But all right. So in this game, the Packers are 5.5 point favorite. I'm having a hard time pulling the trigger on the favorite here, John. I don't want to give the points. Yeah, I think it's a close game.
Yeah, I don't love. This is one of the. I don't like betting this game on the total. I don't like the side, but I agree. I'd be a little nervous with the favorite, but I do. I'm just going to lean to the favorite side, but I think this is a scary game. I'm not going to be surprised if any of the dogs this week
Every underdog is
win.
live.
They're all live.
Yes.
San Francisco's live in this game. Again, like I like the way they're playing. It's tough for me on my numbers this week if you look at my numbers because the Green Bay was weird. You still got that early game in the season against New Orleans that was just
you gotta forget that damn game.
I know you got to forget that game, but it's involved in the numbers. There's a couple other games. They didn't dominate like some other teams have. They've won their games. Listen, you've got Rodgers. It's in the play. He's playing at an incredible level right now. San Francisco's got some momentum though. So, they won that game, that big game, the last game of the year, just to get themselves in here against the Rams, who now everyone thinks the Rams are the best team in football. Forget that, 2 weeks ago they lost to San Francisco when the Rams could have lost the division easily, which, by the way, I had an Arizona to win the West bet, and they blew that big time.
Almost. I remember we talked about it in the preseason. Yeah,
yeah,
almost.
Brutal. I had that locked up. It was like a 2-game lead.
Yeah.
But, that I'm not going to be shocked, but my lean would be if I was in some sort of a pool where I had to pick every game, I think I'd just take the favorite here because I could, I think this game more than any, and obviously it's the biggest line, but this game more than any has the potential where, Rodgers gets in that groove and it sort of goes downhill for San Francisco. So if I had a lean, but I don't know. Are you going to bet this game? I don't think I'm going to bet it.
Right now, this is not one of the ones I've bet. I have 2 bets. The first one being the Bengals. So that's an official for me. I'm betting that. But this one, I'm having a hard time pulling the trigger on it because I do think the Packers are going to win, but I don't like laying the 5.5. So, and I don't really want to bet them on the money line either. I don't like, I think they're going to win, but the 49ers played so well defensively. It was like a different team. This is the issue for me. I watched a different team against Dallas last week than I had seen all season. And I don't know if it's real. I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me. And it wasn't because like they got a couple of big offensive scoring plays. It was the way the defense played. And if they play like that again, they're going to win this game. They're going to beat Aaron Rodgers. Listen, Aaron Rodgers has one thing going for him. It's Aaron Rodgers. Like he's the GOAT. He can, he's got Devontae Adams. He can throw and he can even make Lazard and those other guys look pretty good. So he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, right? That's what he's got going. He's got his prime weapons all around him. Nothing. It's a full, there's no excuses for the Packers. This is their best squad. They should win this game. They're the favorites, but I don't want to lay the 5.5. I actually, but I tend not to bet the underdog unless I think the underdog is going to win the game. So even getting the 5.5 points, I really only like to bet the dog if I expect them to win. But if I'm forced to lay the points, I'm betting the 49ers here. But this is a no bet for me on this game. I might find a couple of props I like. I've been looking at like Devontae Adams to score a touchdown, Deebo Samuel to score a touchdown. Those are some props I really love in this game. Eli Mitchell over 20 carries is something I like in this game. That dude get 27 carries last week with Deebo getting 10 himself. Like it is amazing the volume they're giving to Elijah Mitchell. So I love those volume stats on Eli, and I might just play this game on the prop side. It's also the game I prefer from a build around for DFS purposes on the Saturday slate.
You prefer this one over the other game?
Yes. Yeah, if I had to build around, so I was looking, so in just making a decision between Aaron Rodgers and Joe Burrow as the top quarterback of this 2-game slate, obviously Jimmy Garoppolo is kind of no, and Tannehill's more of like a wild card. I like Rodgers over Burrow.
I like it the other way.
You like Burrow a little more?
Yeah, I like Burrow.
Yeah,
I like Burrow. I think it's close. Yeah, I mean,
my reasoning was mainly that Burrow has a little bit higher likelihood of leaning on the running game compared to Aaron Rodgers.
Well, that's where I actually disagree. I think it's flipped.
Could be.
I think we'll see. I don't think we're going to see as much running in the with Cincinnati. I think they're going to throw the ball to try to beat them. So I'm leaning on the. I think they'll run the ball more with Green Bay. So I think they're going to have to run. I think Green Bay is going to have to run the ball here in this game. They're going to have to get that pressure off of Rodgers a little bit.
That might be the case. DFS purposes in that slate, you're going to have a little more Burrow than Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, that's the way I think right now. Yeah, things can change. It's also, you got to look at the weather too. It's going to be pretty. It's like 20 degrees, a little wind in Green Bay, so we'll see how that plays out. I actually think that plays to San Francisco's advantage because San Francisco I think is just more physical.
They want to run the football.
Yeah, they could pound. That's what they want to do. Not that they can. That's their game. And it's like Jimmy G. Don't make a mistake.
George Kittle is the best run blocking tight end in the NFL, which is crazy considering he's also a great pass catching.
And he's non-existent. He's non-existent now in the passing game.
Well, if they're going to run, he'll just turn up one day. That's how George Kittle's like that. All of a sudden, boom, he's having a great game. But that will happen. That could happen here. Still got to use him. But yeah, I mean, he definitely can disappear because they keep him in to run block because he's such a great run blocking tight end. And if the 49ers can control, when the 49ers are winning, Kittle's less likely to be beasting. But if the 49ers are behind in this game early, so there are game flow scenarios where George Kittle goes crazy. So, if you're planning your bets, your props, whatever, keep that in mind. George Kittle's really good for the comeback or the team that's playing from behind. He's less good on the 49ers when they're playing from ahead because they keep him in to block. He's a great run blocker, and he doesn't want the football thrown to him. He wants to block. I heard I was listening to the mic'd up, and it was George Kittle's like, let's run it again. And you never see an offensive player just yelling, run it again. Like they love it. They are embracing the shenanigans.
Works.
They're embracing it. All right, let's move on to Sunday. And we got the GOAT, Tom Brady, not the GOAT Statsational. It's a different GOAT, not the GOAT Cuz Gargano, different GOAT. The GOAT, Tom Brady, all GOATs in their respective fields. Going up against Matthew Stafford and the Rams. The Rams looking great last week, put the beat down on Kyler Murray. Now they're coming to town. Tampa, they crossed the handle. Crossed the handle was +3. Now it's +2.5 in a lot of books. Get your bets in right now before it moves, because this thing is moving, and spread is tightening, John. Spread is tightening. I already placed my bet. I'm not waiting because somebody told me if you beat the closing line, you already won.
You do. I mean, if you could be 1 point better than the closing line and just blindly do that, you're gonna be a profitable bettor. So I mean, even a half a point. So
well, I'm looking good at my +3.5 bet on the Rams. Looking pretty good. But right now you can get it at +3. So which side of this game are you leaning towards and why?
This one's tricky. Like, I think I like Tampa Bay because of Brady, right? So again, it's a quarterback matchup. But what I'm scared about is, how do you beat Brady? I mean, how do you beat most great quarterbacks? But you always beat Brady. The only way Brady loses is when you get pressure with 4 guys. You got to get pressure with 4 guys, and then you kill Brady. He can't get it. If you're just getting to him without having to blitz or anything like that, that's how you beat Brady. That's how the Giants did it in the Super Bowl. Miami had those teams where, they weren't great teams, but they'd had games where they would somehow, with Taylor and those guys, where they would get to Brady. The games Brady, where you're getting to Brady, that's what's going to. And I think that the Rams have that potential. I think people are just a little too high on the Rams. Like, the Rams have been up and down. Now, are they better now? Is Von Miller maybe more acclimated in the with this team, and are the pieces? Is OBJ now? We're seeing him score touchdowns every week. So is this team like finally starting to gel? Very possible. Am I going to be shocked if they win? Absolutely not. Because I just think these teams are all really close. I don't think any of these teams are great. Going into this playoffs, I said this is the weakest crop of teams from the top to the bottom I've ever seen. It's just a lot of teams that are really close to each other, so it's making it hard to predict a Super Bowl winner. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Brady, and I think that's the way I got to go in this game. But I'm nervous about it for the reasons I mentioned. But I think we're going to get some points in this game. I think this is where we're going to see some points, unless we get that unless we get the pass rush that's getting to Brady. But I think they're going to be able to do enough. I think they block it. That line is pretty good, although they did get banged up. I don't know what the situation was, how they're looking health-wise on the Tampa line. I know they got banged up a little bit last week, so that could be dangerous. I got to look at what the injury report looks like for the O-line.
here's my primary concern with this game, and it's for Brady. And listen, Brady's the GOAT. I think we all acknowledge that. And Brady ain't here to fucking get knocked out in the first round of playoffs or the second round of playoffs. That's not why he's playing at 48 years old. He's playing to take down another Super Bowl. With that being said, this is a tough spot for the Bucs. Jalen Ramsey is going to be blanketed on Mike Evans this entire game, right? He's going to negate the Mike Evans factor. I know he doesn't shadow anymore, blah, blah, blah. Yes, he will. He's going to shadow Mike Evans. He's going to take him out of this game, right? So who's really left for Brady in the weapons? You have a gimpy Leonard Fournette. You have then a group of ne'er-do-wells, including Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller, and who the hell else? So those guys have not caught on with Brady. I think Brady's going to have, we've seen Brady have a tough time with new bodies, with low quality wide receivers. They're a little off. He needs his players in sync with him. And I just think he's going to have a hard time because outside of Gronk, and Gronk's a fucking man. I love Gronk, but he's not good enough at this stage in his career to carry the team. He needs, distractions on the left of me, and then he's running up the middle, and then he's doing his Gronk smash thing. But he's not speedy enough to like get open when somebody's actually covering him. He's just usually running free because the team is distracted by other guys. So I don't know who Brady's going to throw to. I think it's going to be very tough to run on the Rams defense. And the biggest thing that's going to hurt the Rams in this game is just the Rams not playing good offensively and just allowing the Brady to hang around. So I think if the Rams come and they bring their A game like they can, they should win this game. And I think they should win it comfortably. Their defense is good enough to slow down the Patriots, keep them from scoring a lot. And so it's just a matter of, we know their offense is good enough, but will the nerves get to them? Will some other weird factors get to them? If they don't, will the Brady curse somehow get to them? Because we've seen Brady just like other teams just melt when he's on the other side of it. But I don't believe in that kind of shit. So, yeah, I'm on the Rams side. I'll take the points. Don't need to go money line. Protect me against the close game. I'll take the protection. And I'll take the Rams. I'll take the 3.5. And you know what? Maybe the Bucs win, but I still win the bet. That's what I got a little cushion. I got a little cushion there. But I feel really good about the Rams this weekend. I just think they match up really, really well against the Bucs defensively. So it's just a question of if the offense can produce. That's really what it comes down to for me.
I'd watch, you might want to just live bet this. Just get a feel early in this game. If the pressure's if the pressure gets to them early, they're going to get to them all game. I'm speaking of the Rams here, getting to Brady, and then I don't want any part of it. And then I'd look to pick my spots live betting on the Rams. But betting it without any information, without watching the game, I'm gonna stick with the Bucs here. But if you're unsure, maybe live bet this and see if they're protecting early. Then I don't think what it's going to come down to. If they're protecting Brady, then it's going to be a Stafford against Brady because I don't think either team is going to run the ball really well.
Who's he throwing to?
I'm not that worried about it. It's going to be a big game for Gronk. I do agree with you. Evans gets shut down. I'm fine with that. He'll find the other guys. Now, losing AB was probably the biggest loss that they had.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they have Brown or Godwin, I like the Bucs, but I think that person and they lost Cyril Grayson, who was another guy that's very, very, very similar. They don't have a possession wide receiver really that Brady can just throw 10 targets to and have some reliable production there. He's going to have to throw to Tyler Johnson and Scotty Miller or whoever the hell else. I'm telling it's just not a very impressive group. I think the Rams offense will win this or lose this for the Rams because the Rams defense is going to do well and they're going to slow Brady down and they'll limit him 24 points in this game, something in that range or below, I think. So it's like, will the Rams put up more than that? I think they should. I think normally they would. I think they have all the talent. Everybody need to be very good, but you never know what happens in game 2. We haven't really seen Matt Stafford like in a Super Bowl or anywhere near one in his career. So he has not been a winner in that sense. So we're going to have to see how this one goes. But yeah, give me the Rams. I'm taking the points.
Over under.
I would be on the underside. Whenever you bet I was told by a very wise man, but I did not bet the under. But I was told by a wise man that when you take the underdog, you want to bet the under with that.
Well, usually that is true, but mostly when it's a big, when it's a big dog, usually you want to take
you were that wise man who told me that, so you
I know
negate it too much because
yeah,
starting
when you take a big dog,
wise advice. That's
when you
never
take
good.
a big dog, usually you want to get on the 3 points is
let me ask you some real advice. If I go to the strip club, and I sit in the front row and I'm handing out 20s to the girls, do I have any chance, or that's the sucker at the strip club?
Any chance of what? Hooking up
with one of the like, listen, I want the girlfriend experience. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, that depends on where you're at. Dan,
I want to believe that the stripper really is into me, not just from my
mind. They'll trust me. I've never had so many girls tell me how good looking I was last night. It was unbelievable. Yeah. And
you're not that good looking.
And I know. I wasn't buying it once.
It's because you're hanging out with Hart.
Yeah. No, it's just because strippers are looking for money. But I was the most handsome guy apparently in the world last night. But yeah,
you're probably sitting in the front row handing out $20 bills. If you're hanging in the back with the owner, they're still feeding you the bullshit.
Yeah, they always listen, man. They're trying to make money. So yeah, trust me, you go there. If that's what if you're looking for them to be nice to you and tell you how great you are, and boy, you look like you've been working out. Yeah, just you don't even have to give them any money. They're going to say that to you so they can get you to tip them.
I have been working out. You noticed?
I can tell. I can tell, man.
All right, last game, the best game, the best. Bills at the Chiefs. Chiefs at home, 2-point favorites. 54-point total. Came down a little bit from 55 just the other day. Bills coming off the incredible win, making the Patriots look like bitches, right? Chiefs, Mahomes, 41 fantasy points last weekend. The whole team looked amazing. These two teams are firing on all cylinders. And for me, this is a Super Bowl of sorts. I believe these are the two best teams in this contest in the playoffs, and they're facing each other. These two teams probably could have been the Super Bowl teams. Listen, they're all good teams. I get it, blah, blah, blah. I think these two are the best. And two teams enter, one team leaves. I don't know how the hell you predict this one, but I will throw this over to you. I mean, Chiefs at home, 2-point favorite. Anything off? Anything on? Do you like a side here? It's a close one.
It is a close one. Think about this. You look at these games. We said at the beginning, like how these are going to be pretty good games. I think this is going to be a good weekend. It is. The championship weekend might suck.
I mean, if it's the Bengals against the Packers, and like,
no, I'm not talking the Super Bowl, but when you start talking about like
not the Bengals Packers,
whoever wins Cincinnati Tennessee, obviously one of them have to win is going to play this Buffalo Kansas City game. So that no matter what that matchup is
that one won't be
fun. No, I know Tennessee has done well, and then you potentially have like a San Francisco Rams or something like that type of game, or even Green Bay Rams has some interest, but I think these games are more intriguing.
Packers Bucks would be a great, but it's just probably not going to be that. Or it might not be that.
But that's a rematch, right? That's a rematch. Didn't the Bucks go in?
We've seen it before.
So, that game would be fine. But you have the potential for next week to being worse than this week. I think the matchups here this week, you know why? Because we got Cincinnati and Tennessee playing each other, and it sort of took it away. Buffalo, Kansas City, this needed to be played next week. But
100%. This should be the AFC Championship. But fucking blame Buffalo. They had a shitty season. They should have been in first place. They fucked it up.
Oh, 100%. Buffalo I had rated as the number one team. Now, why? The weird thing with Buffalo was they blew out everybody except the teams they lost to. So, like, when they won, they just covered and blew you out, or they lost the game. I mean, there was no in between. So they didn't really play well against playoff teams. They were 2-3 against playoff teams coming in. Obviously, we saw what they did last week. So now they're 3-3. Now they beat Kansas City earlier in the year. Kansas City was like, we didn't know what was wrong with Kansas City.
That was when Kansas City was really like just having their weird, awkward. They're having their puberty awkward phase of the season. They got pimples. Their voice was cracking a little bit. They had that awkward phase.
Yeah, well, you know what it was? It was whoever's calling the plays.
Jackson Mahomes stopped doing TikTok dances for a couple games. That's never good.
How do you let your brother? How do you
Jackson
let your brother do that?
wasn't doing wiggle dancing. He wasn't wiggle dicking before the game. That's not good. Gotta have your cheerleaders keep you excited.
I can't believe this is like what we're the men that we're raising in this country these days. But I digress.
I mean, the reason I watch football is because these are the men that we're raising. Let's be that.
Yeah, let's envy these guys.
Let's be Patrick.
Stuff that we can't. Yeah, stuff we could never possibly do, and throwing their bodies around like they do. But I like Buffalo here. This is the only game where you've got really two good quarterbacks. I know Stafford is Stafford, but he's not Brady. You've got a big disparity, I think, with the other quarterbacks. This one, you've got the marquee quarterbacks, the marquee teams. I think Buffalo is the best team in football, so I've got to stick with them here. I picked Buffalo. If you read my article in the Sharp app before the playoffs, hasn't done well because I got knocked out with Dallas, but Buffalo wins the Super Bowl. We make a profit here, and I still like Buffalo here. So I think Buffalo is the best team, and I think they're starting to play. I mean, their defense, I think it's underrated. The defense. So I think now I know they play the Jets a couple of times, and you play but I believe they were number one in quarterback rating given up. So that's a big stat, by the way, when you're looking at Super Bowl winners is passer rating differential, team passer rating differential. So what you give up and what your pass rating is. A lot of the teams were actually pretty good this year. Their big disparity, they weren't as good offensively, but they were dominant defensively. So I think they're going to be able to win this game. I think it's going to be, I mean, this obviously is the marquee game of the week. I hate betting against Mahomes in the playoffs. It's tough, but Josh Allen might be in a couple of years one of those guys where we're like, well, we don't want to bet against Josh Allen either. I already
don't want to bet against Josh Allen.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people are going to bet this game. The casual bettors are going to want to bet it because it's the marquee game. But I like the points here. I'm going to take the points with Buffalo, but I think they win the game outright.
So my first thought on this game overall is I do not see, you know how every week in fantasy, for example, we get this game that looks sexy on paper, right? 55-point total. Oh my God, it's Dallas going up against the Chiefs. It can do nothing but explode. And they always disappoint us. Every single week you're like, how could this game not be amazing? And then it's not. One team plays like shit. They come in, it's 13-3 at the half. You're like, I don't even know what the hell I just saw, but I don't know how we got here. Who are we? It's a turnover at the goal line twice. Weird shit happens. So my first prediction is that we will not get that style of game here. I think both of these teams are coming with their A games. I think you're going to get a great version of Josh Allen. These guys are hot. They're on fire. You're going to get a great version of Pat Mahomes. You're going to get all of the goodness of both of these teams and both of these offenses. You can see it all. It's all going to be happening. It's going to be fucking Tyreek Hill having a big game. You're like, that's that guy. That's this fucking stud who's priced down on DraftKings for no reason. Shame on them. And then Stephon Diggs might even have a decent game. They don't throw to him that much. But I think all of the weaponry, especially the elite talents, Devin Singletary, we're going to get great games across the board from these offenses. I think this game plays to the over, and I'm comfortable betting the over 54. Okay, 54, not that many points when it's Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. Those two guys put up points really quick. So I like the over on this game if I got to bet it. I'm going to tell you that I'm with you. I kind of I'm taking the points if I have to, but I'm not betting the points because it's only 2. I need a little bit more than that to feel comfortable on either side. Even if it was KC +2, I wouldn't feel good about it because you're essentially just predicting a winner, and I don't think I can predict the winner here. They're too good. The teams are too good. I want to play the over in this one. I like some of the props. I like that Tyreek Hill scores a touchdown prop. I like that Kelsey scores a touchdown prop. I like Devin Singletary scores a touchdown prop. So I think that's the way. I like a lot of the overs on the player props and the game total itself. So that's going to be my angle for this one because I'll be honest, I have if I was to bet the Bills, I'm just pulling it out of my ass. I don't really have a reason why I think the Bills will win. Just like I don't really have a reason why I think the Chiefs will win. They're both elite quarterbacks. They have elite personnel around them. Dawson Knox, what a game last week. So what are we supposed to do here? I think you bet the over, and I'm betting on that the teams, both of these offenses will be clicking and playing their best game. It is the AFC Championship 1 week early, so I think we're going to get an AFC Championship level game, clicking on all cylinders. Sign me up for the over on this one, John.
Yeah, I kind of like the over also. And it's an inflated number. Like the numbers should not be 54 based on the stats. But they're putting it at 54 for a reason. They couldn't put this down where it should have been at 50, 51. It's at 54 because at 51 they would have got too much money on the over. But I still like this game to go over as well. I agree with you here. I think both offenses are clicking, and I just think the Buffalo defense comes up with enough plays. I think they get the extra turnover in this game. They win the turnover battle, and then they win this game. That's the way I'm going to go. So I'm going with Buffalo, but I like your call on the over. So I don't mind that as a little parlay. Take Buffalo on the over, the 54, and that's the last game of the day. We hit a little parlay, and then you can head to the strip clubs all week next week.
All those dollar bills.
That's right.
Dollars.
By the way, Teddy Hart is calling me right now, by the way.
He's watching the show.
He's might like, be watching.
Dude, are you done? Are we going? You got to go. I want Teddy Hart to call me. Give him my number.
I will give him the Geek's number. He was asking me about the Geek.
He's asking about the Geek?
He's like, what's that Geek guy? Where is he? I'm like, he's up in New York. Man.
He can't hang with us. He's got a wife. He's got kids. He doesn't leave the house. He's scared of COVID. I don't leave that. I went out to dinner tonight with my friends. I'm like, bro, fucking get tested or what?
Dude, Omicron, baby. Omicron. It's fine.
I haven't had it.
You're fine.
I haven't had it.
It was a little cold. That was all. I didn't even have no sore throat, no stuffy nose.
Just a little head cold?
No cough. No, I didn't even have that. I just had I had exactly what everyone has when they go and get the shots.
Oh, you're saying your reaction was what I got after I got the shot and I felt like shit for 2 days?
That's pretty much what happened to me for 2 days.
You're saying Omicron's basically a booster shot.
Yeah, listen, we'll probably get thrown off of YouTube if I tell you these, but it basically is.
So be careful. YouTube algorithm is watching. If you say anything other than if you don't stick to the government party line, you are kicked off of this thing so fast.
I know, but
if the government censor finds out that you said that Omicron isn't terrible,
Omicron's the best thing to happen to us. It is.
It might be. We'll get into that in another one. But all right, listen, I'm excited for this weekend. 4 awesome games. If you're playing DFS, it's fucking awesome too. The slates are broken up very nicely. I think each slate has a reason to kind of look at both games a little bit, and so super fun. I will be back tomorrow to do DFS breakdowns of all 4 games of this weekend. So we're going to kind of dive in. We're going to break it down by slate. But, remember, if you haven't, for example, downloaded the Sharp app and you're watching this right now, what are you doing? Get the Sharp app. Awesome. You compare odds, you track your bets. Sharp Academy by John. All that good stuff is on there. So you got to make sure you get the Sharp app now. And if you're in New York, sports betting is legal now. Not only sports betting legal in New York, they're offering the sports books are offering some of the most ridiculous promotions I've ever seen in my entire life. This will not happen again. There's like a window, if you're in New York, of about 3 more weeks where you can take advantage of sportsbook promos. By the way, John, and I know you're missing out on this and it sucks for you in Tampa. Eventually, they're going to come to Tampa, but it's not just the $3,000 that Caesars gave me for free, plus the $300 when I signed up via the link on Sharp app. It's not just the $1,000 that BetMGM gave me, or the $500 that PointsBet. It's not just that. I log on to these apps every day, and there's a fucking free bet sitting in the promotions page as well. So it's like they gave me all this free money, and then like this morning I opened up the app and was like, if the Knicks score 1 point, you can get $50 on a $25 bet. I'm like, oh, all right, I like those odds. Knicks score a point, and there's something like that every day. You don't even know what you're missing out on. I get it. It's only $50. I don't care. I love winning.
No, my dad's loving
every day.
My dad's loving it. He's like, God, do you see all these promos? And
Yes.
yeah, he's like every day. So
People think I'm full of shit.
Yeah,
My
he plays
friends,
all my games, and then he's like, "Hey, I got a promo." Yeah, exactly. Like with the Nick, he's like, "Hey, I got some crazy thing here. Should I play it? Is it?" I'm like, "No, it's legit. Play it.
they're
it's free
legit.
money."
My friends think I'm full of shit. They'll go, "Oh, you're gambling." I'm like, no, it's not gambling to bet that the Knicks are going to score a point tonight. Okay, they're going to score a point.
Are these the guys who are like they didn't build Vegas on you know? I'm like, dude, sometimes they give money away for free.
It's the whole thing. Like, why are they giving money away for free? I said, listen, I don't fucking know. I'm not going to question it. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Somebody gives you a horse. Don't go looking at his teeth to make sure they're not rotten. All right. You fucking get on the horse. You hop on. You grab the reins. You say, thanks for the horse. And you drive and you ride off. You ever get a horse? Anybody ever give you a horse?
No.
I had the equivalent one happen. One time somebody gave me a car. Like, here's my car. Take it. In fairness, I should have looked that gift car in the mouth because it was a piece of shit. Broke down every 2 seconds. Cost me a lot more money than I would have just had if I just bought a car.
Horse would cost you more. I don't need any horses.
But you don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
You don't.
And you don't look a gift car under the hood. You take the car. If it breaks down, okay. Don't look a gift car in the mouth, guys. I'm going to leave it with that. All right. I will. So, cuz again, we wish him the best. He was in a car accident. He's fine, but got a little concussed. He's not feeling too good. So he'll be back, I'm sure, next week. If you're out there, cuz I would like to do the Butler bet on the Rams. Double Butler. I'm trying to win back. You know, I won the last Butler bet, John. You aware of this?
I've heard, man. It's you got a long way to go to get all the way back.
I lost count. I just said you're only as good as your last bet. That's my theory. And if I won the last one, I consider myself the champion.
You're going to be cooking for the Garganos for about a month.
I'm trying to get out of that.
I don't think they want you cooking though.
I only cook Jewish food. Ethnic Jewish food.
You know, and that could be good. You know, I grew up in where I grew up, it was an Italian and Jewish neighborhood, but so many of the people didn't cook. You know, when they made the brisket, man, they just dried it out. They didn't know. Hopefully,
no, that's how it always is.
I know, it's terrible.
It's always like that.
Yeah, it was.
There's not a version of that that's really good.
Although one of my best friends, Jewish friends, they did order in better than anybody else because we used to get there. They used to order in the Jewish deli, which was phenomenal. Man.
No, that we do. We do that really well.
Yeah.
But if you have my home cooking, my brisket, the recipe calls for an extra hour to hour and a half in the oven.
Dry it out as much as
what it should be. Yes. We like it that way. We like it that way. It's suffering. We're a long suffering people, and our food is designed to remind us.
Yeah, it reflects
of the suffering.
Yeah.
Yes, the tears of affliction of our forefathers is reflected in the food that we eat. I don't know if you know that. That's why we eat a lot of pickled foods.
You just never allowed to have any joy. There's no.
It's the tears of affliction. That's why we eat a lot of pickles, salted things, brined. The brine represents the tears.
I do enjoy a good pickle. Nice kosher dill.
All right. That's enough. That'll do it for the wise guys. John, you crushed it. You're kind of a wise guy. You are a wise guy.
I like to, listen, I don't know about a wise guy, but,
you have a wallet?
You have me on.
Are you carrying a wallet or you got the cash in the front pocket?
I don't think I've ever, yeah, sure. I got cash in the front pocket, man.
Let's see it. That's a wise guy. Yeah.
It's always in the front pocket.
Are those all singles for the strippers or
no?
When you go to strip club, is it singles or are you giving them like 5s and 10s and shit?
I hate, that the singles are like, I hate doing the singles because it feels so like you're going to give a girl $1,
Yeah.
First of all, I don't go up, I don't tip on the stage.
You don't tip on the stage?
Because to me, you look like I don't know. You
got to be in the back, sitting in the back.
They need to come to you. Like
you don't sit by the stage.
No, the girls need to come to me. I'm not going to go up to the stage.
You know the lore of the strip club already. That's already above my level of strip club knowledge.
Yeah, you look like a jerk. The guy's standing there like a jerk, and the girl's dancing, and she's looking down at you.
You don't want to be that guy.
No, You don't
that
want the
guy
girl
is not.
She's looking down at you.
She's not taking him home for free.
No, you got to sit in. You sit down. It's like, do I want?
You're in the strip club watching the game on the TV. You're not.
I always watch. Yeah. Well, listen. When I go to the these clubs that we went to in Tampa were actually they're like primo, like the best clubs in the world. But like my local joint here is just like I'm sitting at the bar and I'm watching the game. I don't even pay attention to the game. It's just a bar to me, because I bullshit with the bartender and whatnot. But yeah, when we were going out, when I'm going out with like WWE legends, we're going to down to Tampa with the famous clubs in Tampa. They're all over the place, like all near each other. And then, now you're sitting at a table and they got bottles coming over and the owner's hanging out. But in no way am I ever getting up to go to the stage and give the girl, like when she gets off the stage, she could come over to me and hang out and talk and I'll take care of her. But no.
Is Jim the Anvil Neidhart part of the family?
He is.
The Anvil?
He passed away though.
No, Owen Hart.
No, so did Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
The Anvil also?
Yeah, he passed, but his daughter's in, I don't know, I assume she's still wrestling. His daughter was the champ.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah, Natty.
A lot of tragedy in the WWE.
Absolutely.
A lot of tragedy. All right, let's wrap it up there, guys. Wise Guys, NFL Divisional Round. John, awesome to have you on. Guys, we will be back next week to break down the championship round. Let's do it. Let's make some money. Let's cash these bets. Let's fill our pockets with ducats. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.